damaged? Where you
Live from the CSI Soccer Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of College of Staten Island men's soccer. Today, the CSI Dolphins, coming in with a record of 3-3-1, entertain the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, coming in with a record of 1-8. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm David Pizzuto, riding solo, at least for the first half of this game, CSI versus their opponents over the Verrazano Brooklyn College, a familiar opponent for the Dolphins, opponent that they've had some success against, and a very special afternoon here at the CSI Soccer Complex, as today marks the Schwachman Diamond Syndrome Foundation fundraiser, where the Dolphins will honor one of their honorary team members. That's 7-year-old Anthony Del Rey and his brother Nicholas. The Dolphins adopted these two young men a couple of years ago during the 2017 season, and today they're raising a great deal of money for the Schwachman Diamond Syndrome Foundation. So a great cause here, right here during pregame. We only have about 2 or 3 minutes of pregame until we get some pregame festivities underway, and of course we'll go live on the field for some of that stuff, and we'll get you ready for CSI versus Brooklyn College. For CSI, they come in on a 3-game unbeaten streak. That includes a 1-1 tie against St. Thomas Aquinas College, a future conference opponent in the ECC. And the Dolphins have backed that up with a couple of wins against teams in their former conference, the CUNY Athletic Conference, an 8-0 drubbing of Medgar Evers College last week, a week ago today actually. And then they followed that up with a 4-0 win over York College on the road this past weekend on Saturday. So the Dolphins continue their CUNY run here against the Brooklyn College team that they defeated last year by a modest score of 1-0. That game took place at Brooklyn College. 2 years ago, CSI fell to Brooklyn College by a score of 2-1. That game also taking place at Brooklyn. Dolphins otherwise were able to win 4 out of the last 5 meetings prior to that loss 2 years ago, 2-1. And of course, like I mentioned, the Dolphins winning their lone meeting last year, 1-0. The Dolphins come in having scored 17 goals this season, and they've given up 13, so a +4 in that column. And they face a Brooklyn College team that has started the season 1-8, but they have won their last game. They beat Lehman College on Saturday by a score of 2-1. So Brooklyn College getting a big win after 8 straight losses to open the season. Despite their 1-8 record, they have played a lot of games tough. They lost on the road to TCNJ 3-0. They lost to SUNY Poly 2-0. They did lose a 3-goal game to Farmingdale State at home, but they only lost to Kane 2-0. They only lost to Sarah Lawrence by a single goal, 3-2. They lost to St. Joe's Brooklyn by a single goal, 4-3. They lost to Purchase College by a single goal, 2-1, and they did lose to Hunter by a score of 3-1. But this is a Brooklyn College team that's played a bunch of close games so far to start 2019, and they're hoping to keep another tight one here with the College of Staten Island. a very familiar opponent and a team that they have played very tough over the last few years. In fact, 7 of the last 9 meetings have been decided by a single goal. So we're going to throw it down to the public address announcements here as we have an extended pregame as the Dolphins will honor Anthony Del Rey and Nicholas Del Rey of the Del Rey family. Of course, Anthony suffering from Shwachman-Diamond syndrome, and the Dolphins are raising some much-needed funds for the Del Rey family and for the Shwachman-Diamond Syndrome Foundation. We'll take it live to the field.
Anthony Del Rey was born on February 24th, 2012, and was diagnosed at 8 months old with an extremely rare genetic disease called Shwachman-Diamond syndrome, or SDS. SDS affects the bone marrow, pancreas, skeletal, and immune system. 30% of children with SDS develop leukemia or aplastic anemia and require a bone marrow transplant during the course of their lives. Since his birth, Anthony's life has been challenging. He's been hospitalized many times and has battled many major illnesses and infections. At birth, he was also diagnosed with another rare disorder called hypopituitarism. Anthony's pituitary gland does not excrete the hormones he needs to live and grow, and he has been on hydrocortisone and human growth hormone. He is currently still below the 3rd percentile for his growth and weight and is neutropenic, which makes him very susceptible to getting sick much more easily than other children. Due to this and Anthony's compromised immune system, he receives weekly infusions in which he receives other people's antibodies to help protect him from getting sick. SDS really reared its ugly head when 4 years ago a potential marker for leukemia was found on his bone marrow, which his doctors have been watching closely. Since then, Anthony gets a bone marrow biopsy every 6 months to watch this clone. Anthony is a loving and energetic 7-year-old boy. Anthony's greatest love is playing with his older brother, Nicholas, whom he adores and looks up to. Anthony also enjoys playing baseball, Minecraft, PlayStation 4, and he loves the Avengers as well as his entire CSI family. Anthony's family wants to thank everyone for coming out today to this fundraiser in honor of Anthony. Everyone's love, support, care, and concern for Anthony and his family has truly meant the world to them. They also want to thank the College of Staten Island for welcoming Anthony and his family into our family here at CSI. This partnership has been life-changing for Anthony and his brother Nicholas. At this time, we would like to present a check to the SDS Foundation. The CSI Dolphins coaching staff and Dolphins players Ryan Lehman, Joe Albanese, Joe Bilella, and Jake Foldis will present the check now. On behalf of all of us here at the College of Staten Island, we'd like to welcome Anthony and his family to SDS Night and thank you for attending this special event in support of a great cause.
And you see on your screen the Del Rey family joining CSI coaches and, of course, the CSI team captains, their collection of seniors. The Dolphins adopted Anthony Del Rey 2 years ago in 2017, and really it's become much more than soccer for the Del Rey family. The Del Reys are at just about every home sporting event. You name the sport, they're usually there: basketball, baseball, softball, tennis, and so much more. And they're a great addition to the CSI family. We're very proud to honor them here today. And, of course, there are T-shirts being sold here at the CSI Soccer Complex for $25. And, of course, all the funds go to benefit the Shwachman-Diamond Syndrome Foundation. We're going to take a look at some starters for today's game. We'll take a look first at the Brooklyn College Bulldogs as they are being introduced. You see them on your screen. In numerical order, it'll be number 1, the goalkeeper, Lorenzo Davies. He's a sophomore. Number 2, Demian Touré is a sophomore defender. Number 4, Miguel De Anda will get the start. Number 5, Menelik Kaza Amlak will be starting, a freshman defender. Familiar face to CSI, number 6, Alex Sosa. He's Brooklyn's leading scorer. Number 7, Brian Navarrete makes the start, along with number 8, Jordi Hernandez. Number 19, Kamani Layler. Number 21, Rocco Radavani. Number 22, Alex Zesina. and number 27, George Espinoza. Brooklyn College is coached by Joseph Andre, and the assistant coach is Luis Flores. For the CSI Dolphins, we'll take a look at them in numerical order. It'll be number 4, Alexis Moran Navarro, making the start as a freshman. Number 5, Daniel Angulo will join him. Number 7, Carlos Montesinos. Number 8, Patrick Longo. Number 9, Chris Vendra. Number 11, Ryan Lehman. Number 12, Bryant Navarro. Number 16, Phil Lefkowitz. Number 17, Wilson Quintero. Number 25, Jamali Peterson, the reigning CUNYAC Rookie of the Week. And making another start in goal is Jake Foldis, the senior goalkeeper. So familiar starters for both teams for sure. And we'll take a look at a couple of the marquee players for each team. Now for Brooklyn College, one of the names that we mentioned was Alex Sosa. Sosa was a CSI Dolphin for the last 2 seasons. He transferred to Brooklyn College, and he leads the Bulldogs in scoring. He's got 4 goals in 9 games, and he's got 26 shots to his credit. 14 of them on goal. Those are all team highs, and Alex has Brooklyn's game-winning goal against Lehman College. Brooklyn also has another ex-Dolphin on their roster, number 18, Iyad Zaki, but he is not in the starting lineup. A couple of other players to keep your eyes on. Number 22, Alex Zecina. He's scored 3 goals, and the other goal scorers come off of the bench for Brooklyn College. For CSI, their leading scorer is Phil Lefkowitz. He's got 4 goals and 2 assists. He leads the Dolphins in both categories. Jamali Peterson has scored 3 goals, all in the last 2 games. The assist that he added was on the game-tying goal against Stack. He's making his 2nd start of his career. Bryant Navarro, Joe Balella, and Liram Jambalaj each have 2 goals as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to step aside for our nation's anthem. When we come back, we'll get you set with opening kickoff right here live from the CSI Soccer Complex. It's the Dolphins and the Bulldogs renewing their rivalry right here at CSI. Live soccer coming up next.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. And welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex. The captains are meeting at midfield to discuss who will get first possession and what direction we're going in. The flag, which is at half-mast here at CSI, not moving an inch. It is a very hot and humid day here. There was some rain in the forecast, but very, very low percentage of that might hit us. If there is any wind, it's going from east and west, I guess from the camera out towards the fan side of the field. Brooklyn will be moving from right to left to start the first half. They're in their road maroon uniforms with the white numbers and trim. The Dolphins are in their home blue and grays. Of course, the blue numbers and Columbia blue trim. So the Dolphins coming in, they started the season 1-3. They started 1-1, lost 2 in a row, and then are on a 3-game unbeaten streak. That run includes a tie against NCAA Division II St. Thomas Aquinas College, and then 2 straight wins over CUNY opponents. The Dolphins last year ran the table in CUNY during the regular season. They went 8-0 during the regular season, only surrendered 1 goal, and that is definitely a goal of the Dolphins in the 2019 season. Win all of their CUNY games, not allow a goal in the process. Those are some lofty goals, but Dolphins came very close to achieving that last year and will look to do it again this year. So Brooklyn will have opening possession. And like we mentioned, they'll go from right to left. They have been outscored by 14 goals in 2019. They've scored 10. They've given up 24. And Brooklyn will have the opening possession. Dolphins have Jake Foldis in goal. This is his 7th game. He's allowed 12 goals. He's got a 2.06 goals against. He has an even 60% save percentage. He has made 18 saves while allowing the 12 goals. We'll get you Davies' numbers in just a moment for Brooklyn as the Dolphins are able to shed that one back onto Brooklyn's side of the field. Dolphins will reset with Lehman on the back line. Ball pinballs back and forth near midfield. They will battle in 50-50 possession. Peterson gave chase down the far sideline. Ball still in play. And looks like Vendra gets to it. Dolphins working in very small spurts here, and they'll send it back maybe to reverse field. Looking up was Moran Navarro. He was looking the direction of Lefkowitz. He was battling. That pass, we'll have our first foul of the game. It'll be against the Dolphins. We told you we'd get you Lorenzo Davies' numbers. He's played every minute in goal for Brooklyn. All 9 games. He's allowed 24 goals, a 2.61 goals against, but a save percentage of 68.4. He has made 52 saves in his 9 games. Brooklyn, as we mentioned, they started the season with 8 straight losses, but won their last game against Lehman College 2-1. Definitely something to build on for them, as now we have Lefkowitz, who looks to get sprung, and coming out to meet him at the top of the box was Davies. Shielding defensively was Deanda on the play as well, trying to muscle Lefkowitz off the ball, as we're 2 minutes in, and that's the first real offensive thrust of the game, as we have a foul now whistled against Brooklyn. Brooklyn scored both of those goals against Lehman on Saturday in the first half. Alex Sosa scored them both, one in the 25th minute, one in the 41st. It was the game winner. Chesting it down was Quinteros. There's a point-blank shot that Davies is able to corral. It went right to him. Looked like Bryant Navarro might have gotten his foot on it. There's a lot of real estate there, a lot of space in goal, but that was put right on Davies, and Davies did a nice job to make the save. First save of the game. First true opportunity of the half for either team. Now a run on the far sideline for Brooklyn. Looking for a streaking Radovani on the play, but Dolphins defense is there, and now they're looking for Lefkowitz on the near sideline. Lefkowitz working one-on-one with Deanda. He crosses that one well high and over everyone's head. That'll go out past the goal line, so this will be a goal kick here for Brooklyn. Too much steam for Lefkowitz on that play. CSI 20 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie all-time against Brooklyn College. Looking to extend that today. The teams have split their last 2 meetings. Before that, the Dolphins had won 4 out of 5. And the one that they didn't win was a tie, so they went 4-0-1 the previous 5 games. Brooklyn has not won on Staten Island since 2012. That was a 1-0 win 7 years ago, almost to the day. Vendra now controls far sideline. Dolphins have done a lot of their rush from that far sideline. This is Moran Navarro, who's played very well for the Dolphins. John Tardy has noted that. And he gets one over top of the defense onto Quintero, and he gets interfered with by Tari. And this will be a corner kick for the Dolphins. It's their first of the game, first true opportunity. Lefkowitz will take it. Among the nation's leaders last year in assists per game, he is tied for the team lead with 2, along with Brenny Salas in that category. Salas did not make the start here today. Short give over to Lehman. Lehman puts one in the box bound near the far post, but Peterson couldn't get to it, and it sails wide. Lehman kind of chipped it in there, looking for that far post, trying to catch Brooklyn napping. And speaking to head coach John Tardy about this game, remember last year when they played Brooklyn College, said that Brooklyn played a very defensive game. They really did not want to allow a goal against CSI, and Dolphins were lucky to get one. Got one late in that game. They won the game 1-0. Really dominated play offensively, but Brooklyn was able to hang in there thanks to a lot of numbers in the back line. And Brooklyn's playing with 4 on the back line and then another 2 players in the defensive midfield. So almost 6 players back there as Tari controls. He now has to backpedal, and now they want to go over top again in the direction of Radovani, but on a hop, Foldis plays it easily and restarts. Lehman, with a lot of real estate in front of him, has it intercepted from him by Espinoza, and Brooklyn tried to pedal up quickly, and CSI forced to dump it out and regroup defensively. Played initially here by Kaza Amlak. Played backwards and punched up the field by Hernandez. Tari once again tries to get it over top of the defense. There's no one home. Dolphins will once again try to get it out, but Brooklyn's starting to now press the field. Now looking towards the corner flag in the direction of Espinoza. He streaks down to meet it, but not before it goes out of play, and this will be a goal kick for the Dolphins. First extended possession for Brooklyn in CSI's lower third of the field. Dolphins control here. Moran Navarro wants to give it back to Foldis so he can reset, switch fields to Lehman. Lehman looking far sideline in the direction of Peterson. Peterson in a foot race with Layler, and he's going to get spilled. This will be a foul called against Layler. Layler wants to have a quick word with the referee and plead his case. No card issued. The Dolphins will get themselves a free kick out of this. A good opportunity here at goal as Brian Navarro has made his way into the box. Patrick Longo is in there as well. Big target Wilson Quintero making his way in. Moran Navarro as well. And coming in from the other side of the field to take this free kick is Phil Lefkowitz. Dolphins officially with one shot. Lefkowitz with a chance to make it 2. Gets a right foot into one, heading corner post, and that one hits the side of the net. So catching up to it nicely was Quintero, but the only place he can put it was wide of the net. So that one sailed away on Lefkowitz. That's the second time he's gotten well into a cross, but too much mustard on it. Dolphins' second shot goes well wide. Davies with a line driver, and getting railroaded was George Espinoza. Longo guilty of the foul. And so now Brooklyn College will get another set-piece opportunity, this time 40 yards further up the field. Looking far sideline in the direction of Sosa, and Sosa sees it spilled right out of bounds. Sosa, the former CSI Dolphin, played in 2017 and 18 for CSI. Switched jerseys and has become a real focal point for this Bulldogs team. Threading ball up the middle. It's intercepted by Vendra. And that one is sent all the way up the pitch in the direction of Longo. Longo might have tripped on the ball. That one's played back. Davies being pressured. All he can do is dump it. Vendra tags it back in. Angulo with one of his first touches. Placing it up to Vendra. Vendra switching fields to Quintero. Quintero back to Vendra, one touch, but well out of play. Almost officially 10 minutes in. Now we are 10 minutes in. A very quick-moving first half. Both teams haven't really established much in the final third of the field. Dolphins have had the better of play. Peterson threads a ball to Longo. He gets a maroon jersey into him, and Sosa comes through with it. So Sosa now with a lot of room tries to play one again all the way up the field to Radovani. Dolphins dump out. Quintero. And now a double move. Lefkowitz has it taken away from him by Zasina. They play it backwards to Deanda. Deanda being muscled by Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz taken down by Layler, and Davies is there to meet it and reset for Brooklyn. So some physical play on both sides. Looks like Lefkowitz might have gotten away with a foul, and then Layler might have gotten away with one as well. And now there is a whistle as Brooklyn will get called for the foul on Hernandez. Ryan Lehman will take it, as he does most of these free kicks from just inside midfield. So it will be Brooklyn's possession. They reset quickly, play it backwards. Turi. So it'll be CSI's throw-in. Understand that our Wi-Fi might be cutting in and out here at the CSI soccer complex, so we apologize if your signal gets interrupted at any point. We will try to get you back on, and that's what happens when you're at the mercy of wireless here like we are at the complex. But we assure you, if we come off the air, we will get you right back on as soon as we can. On this very hot, muggy day, we are just about 15 minutes in. And that'll be a good subplot to this game, too, is how long certain players stay in the game, especially the marquee players, because it is very hot out there. The wind has picked up a little bit, but today is not a day for extended runs and sprints, as both teams will definitely be feeling the effects of this heat throughout the game. Padavani, who's made a couple of sprints up the field, has a first quick touch, interrupted by the Dolphins. This is Peterson. Peterson drawing the attention of a lot of Bulldogs, has to retreat and gives it back to Moran Navarro. Moran Navarro to Quintero. Quintero one touch over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz unable to turn towards goal. He loses it to Deanda, and Deanda is interfered with. Lefkowitz wants an explanation on the foul, gets one, and that's that. And here is Turi will be the one to take it. He's wearing the captain's band for Brooklyn College. Turi this season with 3 assists leads Brooklyn College from his defensive position. Probably because of plays like that where Brooklyn looking to go well over top of the defense. Very little midfield possession for Brooklyn. Nice couple of moves that time by Angulo, but can't shed the Brooklyn College defense. And instead it'll be Moran Navarro giving it over to Quintero. One touch Vendra Longo back to Quintero. He's got some room, threads it through to Navarro. He's giving chase. Davies is able to get a foot on it and sprawl it out, top of the box. Brooklyn is able to finally recover as Hernandez dumps out. Touched on by Espinoza. Brooklyn having trouble clearing here. Deanda moves up. Navarrete was in the vicinity. Here's Lefkowitz, and that one is popped out of bounds. Lefkowitz doesn't know where to go here and finally gets it to the middle of the field with Lehman. Lehman able to pop it back over the midfield line, but it gets onto the foot of Sosa. Sosa can't control cleanly, has to play it back to Navarrete. Espinoza now wants to reset. He does so over to Kaza Amlak. And again, that one down the field. And there is the would-be shot that was broken up. And then on the follow-up, it was Radavani who went well wide. And we have a first substitution of the game. And it will be number 13, Christopher Tenempagwe, will be the first substitution for the Dolphins, and he will replace Patrick Longo. So Longo, the junior midfielder, comes out of the game. And there is the long free kick over to Brooklyn College's side. That was a great attempt at goal on that last rush. Alex Zacina was in the neighborhood. Both teams with one shot on goal. Both goalies with that one save. Foldis made a good one. Deanda over to Navarrete. Tari switching fields to Sosa. Sosa hasn't really been given a lot of room by the Dolphins. Dolphins respecting his playmaking ability. And that one is blocked out of play. Dolphin, well, actually, no, it stayed in. And Vendra collects. Dolphins looking to switch fields. Moran Navarro straight up the pitch. Tari is there for Brooklyn. Padavani had a quick touch on it. Brooklyn able to control, and out of sorts there was George Espinoza. He dove for that one. Dolphins reset quickly. Offside is Lefkowitz. Another body going down hard. That was Jordy Hernandez hitting the turf, and the Dolphins being whistled for a foul. And Brooklyn will have themselves a free kick opportunity. Play resets. Brooklyn controls. Zacina. Tari being converged on by two Dolphins. Nice job by the Dolphins defense. Tari goes in from behind. That's a dangerous play. He's going to be shown the yellow. And it will be Demian Tari, who came in from behind to exercise the tackle. He gets whistled for a yellow card. First booking of the game for either team. So after all of this, Ryan Lehman will spot it up again. And that one is straight on goal and into the hands of Davies. Not sure if that was meant to be a shot or a pass, but in any event, Davies was there as we have another quick whistle. Dolphins getting set to make another substitution in a few moments. It'll be Carlos Montesinos getting set to check in. Montesinos was mentioned as being in the starting lineup for the Dolphins, but there was a last-second scratch there. Lefkowitz. Dolphins looking to scatter out. And that one goes out of play. Last touch by CSI, so Brooklyn will be able to reset here and put some more maroon jerseys up the field. Dolphins have had their struggles at times with set pieces through the years. Been much better in that category this season. We'll see what Brooklyn does with this one. Sosa is the one to take it. Puts it deep into the box, but Foldis is there to play it on the fly. And like a center fielder, was able to get under it and make the catch cleanly. Foldis restarts via the throw over to the far sideline. Moran Navarro. Back to Foldis, who perhaps wants to switch field. Instead, puts it all the way through on Brooklyn's side. Vendra giving it away on the 50-50 chance. Dolphins get it back with Tenin Pagwe. He finds Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz being harassed near the corner flag, puts one through the front, and almost there to make the play was Peterson. He was missing a couple of inches there. Otherwise, that was a beautiful cross by Lefkowitz, and onto a streaking head of Peterson, just missed it. Here comes Brooklyn the other way. This is Tari. Tari given a lot of space. Trying to thread it through, can't do it, as Moran Navarro was there. This is Vendra now switching fields. Tried to play it over to Condi, losing it to Sosa. Toe poked away by Condi, and he'll get it back if he can catch up with it. And he does. Getting it towards midfield. And a clean tackle that time by Espinoza, and he's able to play it backwards. Straight up in the air, 50-50 chance. Played by Brooklyn. Padavani playing it over to Espinoza. Espinoza given a little bit of room. Tries to get it over in the corner. Hernandez playing against Quintero. Plays it off the back of a defender. Ball pops straight up. Moran Navarro able to escape. Zacina has to backpedal. Giving it over to Deanda. Deanda trying to weave his way through defenders. Can't do it. Tari trying to put one over top of the defense. No one home for Brooklyn, and Foldis able to make the play. As we approach 21.5 to go here in the first half. It's been an eventful one. No score between the Dolphins and the Bulldogs.
Why is every ball you get set 50 yards? Why can't we play? Why can't we play?
Dolphins play it now back towards their defensive line. Ryan Lehman controlling. Vendra now moving right to left. Plays it over to Moran Navarro. Moran Navarro getting it over to Angulo. Lefkowitz puts down a player. Navarrete playing it over to Kaza Amlak again, looking to go over top of the defense. Can't do it. Lehman now controls. Zacina losing it to Vendra. Dolphins looking on the near sideline in the direction of Lefkowitz. It spilled out. Dolphins will get a substitution in the game. Two of them, in fact, as coming in will be Montesinos and Brenny Salas. Bryant Navarro will come off, and we have a stoppage of play as Jamali Peterson's going to come out, and I believe this will be an official water break for both teams, as once again the temperatures have been up there. It's hit 90 today on Staten Island, and officially 20:08 remaining in this first half. No score between Brooklyn and Staten Island on a day where the Dolphins are honoring honorary team member 7-year-old Anthony Del Rey.
Throughout the remainder of this game, you can purchase a jersey for $25. All proceeds will be split between the foundation and the Del Rey family. Once again,
Dolphins
SDS Foundation jerseys for sale.
once again on a 3-game unbeaten streak, and both of these teams will continue their seasons on Saturday. For Brooklyn, they will be home to defending CUNY champs Baruch College at 12 noon on Saturday. And then for the Dolphins, they will be on the road at Randall's Island to take on Hunter College. That too, a noon start for CSI against Hunter. Once again, we're in a water timeout here as both teams sent to their respective benches. Official shot count right now is 1-1. The shots on goal are 1-1. There has been one booking in the game, and that was to number 2, Demian Turi. He picked up a yellow card. Other than that, there's been plenty of fouls. The Dolphins with 6, Brooklyn with 4. And the Dolphins have been whistled for a couple of offsides calls. So we restart here, close to 20 minutes to play left in the first half. It's Angulo. Angulo threading it through there with a quick shot on goal and a save by Davies, and the rebound shot by Tenenpagwe went well high. So a couple of quick shots that time for the Dolphins. One saved by Davies, one went over the bar. And that all came after the restart, after the official timeout on the field. So get a bag of ice from Allison, put it there, put a piece of paper on top of the ice, and then put that on top of the ice. Yeah, you can try it. After the restart here at midfield, Dolphins looking to get sprung here with Montesinos. Nice defensive play by Turi, but the Dolphins are able to get it back. They want to reset quickly, but Navarrete gets in the way. And that one is popped all the way up by Condi. Dolphins play back and forth soccer here. Condi battling with Padavano, but that one is won by Condi. It's Radavani, not Padavano, for Brooklyn College. Brooklyn will have the throw in here. Bulldogs have stayed neck and neck here with the Dolphins through the first 25 minutes. Certainly players playing a little bit slower here in this second half of the first half as legs are getting a little bit more tired. You can see the deliberate nature in which Kamani Layler approaches that ball out of bounds. Not a lot of real urgency at this point, and that is a clear indicator that the heat is certainly getting to both of these teams, and perhaps the slower play benefiting Brooklyn as we have a hard meeting between Montesinos and Turi. Turi able to get up under his own power, so that's a good sign for Brooklyn. Davies comes up to take the quick free kick and drops it off to Radavani. They continue to go back and forth. Zesina. A quick foul again, another whistle against the Dolphins. So fouls accumulating for CSI here. They have doubled up on Brooklyn 8-4 in that department. As we approach 16 and a half to go. Ryan Lehman is able to take that errant lead pass. Diving to get to that one was Navarrete. CSI able to get it back. Quintero feeding Montesinos, but at the top of the box, Davies is there to spill it right out. And up over everything and out of play. So Lorenzo Davies, who's played every single minute in goal for Brooklyn, has been very active. And here is one put into the box. There was Lefkowitz, tried to play it back as he was going in the wrong direction. And battling is Angulo with Tari. Angulo went down on the play, was looking for the call, won't get it. Coming out with it was Espinoza. He tried to drop it off to Zacina, but it wasn't working there. A lot of physical play back and forth, and we are out of play. After all this, Brooklyn will have themselves a throw-in opportunity as we approach 15 minutes to go in the first half. Skied all the way up and out of play. Brooklyn has had some problems stringing together multiple passes, especially on the ground. They've been working really with the long ball. And here's CSI the other way, spilled, and a nice clean tackle. It's out of play, last touch by the Dolphins. And played up the pitch. Once again, nobody there but CSI Dolphins as they try to reset quickly. The Bulldogs are there defensively. Espinoza drops off to Dienda. Dienda up top. Radavani was in the neighborhood, drops it off to Espinoza. Espinoza looking on the sideline in the direction of Hernandez. He retreats and finds Vendra. Vendra tried to drop it off to Tenempagwe. Tenempagwe tries to reverse field, look to go over top, and it's well ahead of everyone, and it'll be Brooklyn's throw-in. Actually, it'll be an offsides whistle against CSI on that play. For the Dolphins, that's their third offsides call of the half. Radavani whiffs on the would-be header, and that one goes straight through to Foldis. We've had a total of 4 shots in the game, 3 by the Dolphins, 1 by Brooklyn. Shots on goal 2-1 in favor of Brooklyn. Anyone's game here. 32 minutes in, and we have a foul whistled against Kamani Layler. So the Dolphins will get themselves a free kick just outside of the midfield stripe. Still in their defensive zone. Looks like it will be Lehman to take this one as well. Dolphins getting set to enter another substitution. It will be Joe Bilella getting set to check in. Vendra controls first. Tenempagwe turns towards goal, drops it off to Vendra. Vendra, moving from right to left, was intercepted. 50-50 ball. Radavani had a quick step on it. Espinoza catches up to it. And we have a meeting there as Alexis Moran-Navarro and Espinoza met. And with Espinoza getting hit in the head, that will immediately spring a timeout here as Allison Ocasio will go onto the field. Clock has stopped with 12:51. And getting up under his own power was Espinoza, but he will have to come off the field at least for a few moments. Brooklyn does not plan to bring anybody in replacing Espinoza. Looks like it will be Tari to take it. Tari could get a left foot into this one. He's been really strong. Puts that one into the box. Zersino was giving chase, but it was dumped out by the defense. Brooklyn will redo it here on the throw. Kaza Amlak will take it as we approach 12 and a half left here in the first half. Zacina in the neighborhood. Spilled out again by the Dolphins, but this time it will be CSI's ball. Substitution will come into the game as Joe Balella will make his way in. His first action, Balella with 2 goals on 6 shots this season. 4 of those 6 shots on goal. He will replace Phil Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz a part of a number of runs here on the near side. Ryan Lehman comes out with this one. Dolphins looking to string together some passes here. Turning up and seeing a lot of daylight is Angulo. He finds a wide open Wilson Quintero. Quintero sidesteps one defender, moving left, tries to thread one through, can't do it. Taken away by Turi. Turi, nice defensive play. Giving it over to Radavani. Radavani to a streaking Dienda. Dienda playing with it, losing it. As Alexis Moran Navarro gets to it, and the Dolphins will reset. Lehman will reverse fields over to Condi. Lehman will control. He's given some real estate and now streaking down the far sideline. Looks like Angulo was in the neighborhood, but Kaza Amlak was there to break things up. Brooklyn will get ready to put in their first substitution in a few moments. Luis Gomez has come in the vicinity. Should mention that Brooklyn right now is playing with 10 players on the field as Espinoza is still out. Just have to get the referee's attention. And that one is played out. Substitution for Brooklyn will be Luis Gomez. And re-entering the game is George Espinoza, who wasn't subbed in for. He came out via injury. Coming out is Rocco Radavani. Radavani was one of the busiest Brooklyn College Bulldogs in the first half, making those runs, especially early in the half. But he was tempered down. Obviously, that heat causing a lot of exhaustion as well. 10 minutes to go here in the first half. No score between Brooklyn and the Dolphins. CSI trying to keep their 3-game undefeated streak alive and trying to extend their win streak to 3 games. Tari dropping it off to Hernandez. Coming in late was Condi, and Hernandez was spilled. And for the Dolphins, that's their 10th foul. Quick reset here for Brooklyn. Looking in the corner near Sosa. Sosa tries to sidestep. Goes left, now goes right, and puts one over everything and out of play. So Foldis will take his time here and wants to reset over to Quintero. Quintero plays it middle of the field to Lehman. Dolphins looking for players in space. Tenempagwe looking for streaking Balella. Balella is onside. He drops that one down, working one-on-one against Dienda. Balella going to his right, catching up to it, putting it off of the defender and out of play. Dolphins will get themselves a corner kick out of this. And that play all sprung by the heads-up play of Chris Tenempagwe. He was able to survey down the field quickly and find an open Balella. So another set-piece opportunity deep in the zone here as the Dolphins will have another corner kick. This their second of the game. Phil Lefkowitz is out of the game, so Tenempagwe will be the one to take it. Puts a left foot into it, and it's well above the head of Montesinos, who is playing back near the far post. Coming out with it was Kaza Amlak, but he plays it too far out of play. Dolphins will get to reset here. They might go back to their defensive line. They do here with Lehman. Giving chase was Gomez. Dolphins will reset their position here. Moran Navarro sidesteps one defender. Looking in the direction of Quintero. Quintero drops it off to Balella. Balella with a run against Turi in the box, and Turi slips it out. And this will be a throw-in for the Dolphins here. Tough first touch for Daniel Angulo as he sees that one go out past the goal line. This will be a goal kick for Brooklyn. Dolphins have another opportunity squandered there. If you're the Bulldogs or if you're the Dolphins, you do not want to give up a goal late here in the first half after such a hard-fought first half to possibly send this one into the second half, still knotted up as 0. Montesinos, quick first touch. Dolphins play it back. Vendra playing it far sideline. Angulo was in the neighborhood. Out of play. Dolphins will reset. That was Salas down there near the far sideline. Salas plays it now. Tries to play it back to Vendra. Does successfully, but Vendra met with the maroon jerseys. Has no choice but to play it out. Brooklyn with heavy numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on their back line, as well as 3 defensive midfielders. Tough give and go that time between Balella and Quintero as we approach 6 minutes to go in the first half. So when the Dolphins enter Brooklyn's offensive zone, Brooklyn adopts a 5-man defensive line and then 3 defensive midfielders. So essentially 8 players kind of on that back line. That's a tough wall to get through, a sea of maroon. Dolphins have been knocking at the door, just haven't seemed to really get a good shot off. Dolphins are only 2 shots on goal. Davies obviously has made both saves. Brooklyn has 1 lone shot on goal, and it was a save made by Foldis. Damian Tari puts that one in. Headed out by the Dolphins. Salas battling with Sosa. Sosa wins that battle. Trying to go right to left. Gets taken off the ball by Vendra. Now Balella gets to it. He's looking sideline. Salas. Salas looks to thread one through. It went past Montesinos. And here comes Navarrete the other way. Looking for Espinoza. Espinoza gets met by Lehman. More 50-50 play midfield. Espinoza comes away with it. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Montesinos comes through with it. Not on the same page with Angulo. Zacina has his pass batted down. That will go out of play, last touched by the Dolphins. Brooklyn with a quick reset. Dienda. Back to Tari. Navarrete. Kaza-Amlak. Straight up the pitch. It's intercepted by Lehman. Near midfield, he plays it to Angulo. Angulo on the ground. Can't catch up to it. This is Navarrete. Navarrete looking for an overlapping attacker. It was Hernandez. He gets sidestepped by Quintero. Loose ball. In late was Navarrete. Got nothing. But the Dolphins give it away. Zacina back over to Navarrete. He's played on by Vendra and poked out of bounds. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Both teams not getting a lot of real estate in the lower third of the field. And that one is out of play again by Tari. Brooklyn with almost no possession in the CSI lower third of the field. They've been looking for that home run ball over top of the defense. Hasn't happened yet. Now played down the far sideline. This is Salas. He's being worked over by Kaza-Amlak. Salas gets to it, drops it off, and now a quick shot, and it was wide of the net. Angulo had his left foot on it, and Davies did not have to make the save, so this will be a goal kick, and Asante Carroll will come in for the CSI Dolphins. Carroll, this season, 1 official game played, and he does have 1 assist this season. Carroll also saw action in the preseason exhibition against Rutgers Newark as well. Carroll with no official shots on the season. Vendra now plays it near midfield as we approach 2.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Crunch time minutes here as Both teams would love to slip in a late goal here. This is Navarrete passing it over to Sosa. Zasina comes out with it. He gets met and spilled to the turf by Montesinos. Zasina is still down. Montesinos looking to thread one through the middle. This is in the direction of Carroll. Nobody home. And Davies will put it right out of bounds so we can get a stoppage of play. Although not officially, as Zasina will be talked to. And now the official will call for time with 1:56 officially to go. And CSI trainer Allison Ocasio will have to make her way back onto the pitch. Alex Zasina, a junior midfielder from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's been given a heavy workload in this game. He actually started on the left side of the field. He's moved over to the right and more towards the forward position. So he's been spread out wide here for Brooklyn, and he's getting up very slowly. He collided with Carlos Montesinos. So Brooklyn's 10 goals this season, 4 of them were scored in the first half, 6 in the second. The Dolphins have done most of their scoring in the first half of games, but that's pretty lopsided considering they scored 7 against Medgar Evers in the first half of their game against them, only 1 in the second half of that game. So Zasina is up under his own power, and he will make his way over to the field. Now, there is no substitution coming in for Brooklyn, so they will play down 1 man for the remaining 1:56 unless they get a substitute to the table. It doesn't look like they will do so. So for what it's worth, the Dolphins are on a power play here for 1:56. See if it matters much here. The Dolphins, with a good show of sportsmanship, giving the ball right back to Brooklyn. And Davies will punt this one straight up in the air. That's a really short punt. And that was a shank. Out of bounds. The Dolphins will get it back here. Montesinos sheds 1 defender, looking sideline, nobody home, and the ball goes out of play. Sub guys, sub guys, sub guys. Can you guys blow the horn? Number 10, Luis Garcia will come in. And for Garcia, he will replace Alex Zasina, who came off via the injury. So Brooklyn was only down for 45 seconds or so. And we have 1 minute to go in the first half.
1 minute to play in the first half. 1 minute to play.
Espinoza now sprinting against Tenempagwe. Was able to get past Tenempagwe, but now Tenempagwe called for the late foul. And so here's a chance for Brooklyn. Under a minute to go, they will be given a set-piece opportunity. And indeed, they are putting some defenders into that box. So Brooklyn's going to try to maximize this opportunity here. Coming into the box is Layler from his defensive position. Tari takes it. That went well over everyone. Not a good effort by Tari on that free kick. So a goal kick coming up here with about 15 seconds to play in the first half. It's been back and forth. The Dolphins, I guess you could say, had the better of it possessionally, but not a lot of chances either way. And they count down the final seconds here from the CSI Soccer Complex. We will go into halftime tied at 0. So the Dolphins take a 4-1 lead in shots, but nothing registers. And at the end of 45 full minutes of play, it's the College of Staten Island nothing and Brooklyn College nothing. So we will step aside, take a few minutes of break time, and when we come back, we'll get you caught up with first half stats and some more information as we get set for you the second half of play. Once again, your halftime score, it's 0-0 between Brooklyn and Staten Island. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Men's Soccer on CSI Sportsnet, only on CSIDolphins.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Cobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Cobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. Welcome back to the CSI Soccer Complex. We are at halftime between the Brooklyn College Bulldogs and the College of Staten Island Dolphins. CSI in a 3-game unbeaten streak coming into this one. And for Brooklyn, after starting their season off at 0-8, won their last game 1-8, looking for win number 2. Right now, both teams are in a 0-0 stalemate. We'll take a look at some halftime stats here to get you ready for half number 2. You'll be able to see them on your screen momentarily. Dolphins lead the shot count by a score of 4-1. The shots on goal a little bit more modest, 2-1. It's forced a couple of saves for Davies on Brooklyn's side, and Jake Foldis made a single save in the first half. You take a look at some of the other statistics. The corners in Staten Island's favor, modestly at 2-0. Fouls have been important. The Dolphins whistled for 12 fouls in the game. Brooklyn only 5. However, Brooklyn got flagged for the lone yellow of the first half. That one was on number 2, Damian Turi. And then in the other category of offsides, the Dolphins whistled for 3 of them. So not a lot to go on as far as statistics are concerned. Really, the story of this game is going to be decided in the second half. We're about 5 minutes away from the second half of play. So what we're going to do is we're going to step aside, take an extended break here. When we come back, we'll have the second half kickoff live here from the CSI Soccer Complex. Once again, we're at halftime. No score between CSI and Brooklyn. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Soccer right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
When your car is damaged, where you take it is your decision. But insurance companies would like you to think otherwise. While they may have a lot of pull, it may not always be in the best interest of your car. Your car will be fixed right and on time. What insurance company can argue with that?
Call Dependable Auto Body at 718-447-4898.
Hi, Meals on Wheels. I'm Marco. I'm a college student, and I volunteer as a driver for Meals on Wheels. I think it's awesome meeting these people. I mean, they're so interesting. They've had so many wonderful experiences in life. Your community helps to raise you up into the person that you become. Meals on Wheels is a great way to give back to that community.
Cobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials, live music, and the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dining order at Cobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
The Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. And we're back here at the CSI Soccer Complex. The second half is officially underway. The Dolphins going from right to left in this half. Brooklyn from left to right. We are scoreless here through the first 45 minutes of play. Dolphins, who have outscored CUNY opponents 12-0 so far this season, have to find a way to scratch one or two on the board here in this second half, as we have a ball poured into the box, misplayed originally by Brooklyn, and now they finally are able to shed it up the field. Biggest change for the Dolphins at halftime is The change in goal, Christian Carucci has checked in for the Dolphins. For Carucci, he is making his third appearance of the season. He's only allowed a single goal. He's got a 0.67 goals against, an 889 save percentage. So that save percentage is off the charts, but he's only made 6 saves. Here's Alex Sosa, and Sosa sees that one go out, and he was working against Mohamedou Sow, who also has entered the game for the first time for the Dolphins. Sow did not play in the first half. So for the Dolphins on the field in the second half, Brenny Salas, Alexis Moran-Navarro, Mohamedou Sow, Carlos Montesinos, Chris Vendra, Ryan Lehman, Chris Tenempagwe, Joe Balella, Phil Lefkowitz, Asante Carroll, and as we mentioned, Christian Carucci's playing goal. Home run ball down the far side of the field gets spilled out by Brooklyn. Lefkowitz resets quickly. Sprawling to try to retrieve it were the Dolphins, but it was picked up by Brooklyn, and that one goes out of play. Dolphins will have themselves a throw-in again. It will be Alexis Moran-Navarro. Quick reset into Salas. Salas muscled off the ball, but called for the foul was Hernandez. The Dolphins will reset here quickly. For Brooklyn in this half, Alex Sosa, Jordy Hernandez, Luis Garcia, Luis Gomez, both of whom came in as substitutions. Damian Turi is also in. He's playing with a yellow card. Chested out by the Dolphins. Retreating is Vendra. He gives it up to Sal. Kamani Layler, George Espinoza, Brian Navarrete, Menelik Kaza-Amlek, Miguel Dienda, and the goalkeeper remains Lorenzo Davies. Those are your lineups here in the second half as Dolphins controlling play here. Moran-Navarro looking up, finding Carroll. Carroll sidesteps one defender. Advantage rule to Carroll. Streaking in was Balella, and he was ridden down. No call on the play. Dolphins bench certainly wanted it. Referee says no as Sosa plays it over to Espinoza, who gets it back to Sosa. Sosa showing some speed. Tries to get through 2 defenders, cannot do so. Espinoza in the neighborhood, he can't catch up to it. Gets it back and spilled down. Montesinos is going to get called for a foul. Montesinos pleading his case, but and I don't believe he got carded. At least there was nothing officially shown. He is carrying a card in his hand. I don't think there was a card issued out on that play. But regardless, Alex Sosa is going to have an opportunity here. 35 yards from goal. It's batted down by the wall. Falling down hard was a Brooklyn player. Popped in by Turi. Only one in the neighborhood is Carucci, and he's able to cover up. No harm done. Both teams, towards the tail end of the first half and now to start the second half, have given up some big set-piece opportunities deep in the other's end. Moran-Navarro looking for Brenny Salas near the corner flag. He's onside. Puts one in towards the middle. It gets past Davies and popped in on goal for the score. The Dolphins are able to sneak in a goal by Joe Balella on the feed from Salas, and the Dolphins are up 1-0 on an early second half goal. 5:02 into the second half, and the Dolphins sound the alarm. It's 1-0. See it again on your screen as you just saw the nice feed. It was an own goal. So officially registered as an own goal. Balella was the one to pop it in. He definitely touched it going in. So Balella definitely got a foot on it. Looked like it anyway. We'll see it on the replay. Joe Masha will get it queued up for us. Now, Balella definitely popped it in right at the very end. Looked like it might have gotten redirected. You didn't get too much of a look at it. We'll get a little bit more breathing room on the front end of that replay. So might have to disallow the assist on that if it was touched by a defender first. So perhaps no assist on the play, but it certainly looked like Balella got a toe poke on it to guide it home. As we have a stoppage of play on the field. Meanwhile, we just keep looking at replay after replay to figure out what exactly happened. Definitely Balella's goal. It's a definite goal for Balella. No assist on the play as the defender redirected it. So after further review, Joe Foreman goes under the hood, and so do I, and we concur. Oh, Joe thinks it might be an own goal. I don't know. I think that's a definite goal. Substitution going in for Brooklyn College, number 3. Randy Ergiles comes in. And it looks like coming out will be Miguel Deanda, who is the one being stretched outside of play. So Lehman controls over to Sal. Lehman gets it back. The Dolphins, no matter how you score it, they're up 1-0, and now Brooklyn is up against it. They need to turn on the offensive pressure, try to get an equalizer. This is a CSI team. The only goal they allowed during the regular season against the CUNY team last year was on a penalty kick. A very controversial one at that. So after a ball goes our way, Brooklyn will get the reset. So we're going to have a corner kick out of this, the first one of the game for Brooklyn College, and taking it will be Navarrete. So here comes a big opportunity here for Brooklyn College, who have a chance here to equalize. Another set piece deep in CSI zone. A lot of maroon jerseys coming up from the far post. Getting ahead on it was Layla at first. Dolphins are able to dump out. Back and forth play. Dolphins continue to bounce the ball back and forth with the Cardinals. Coming out with it is Sal. Sal gets toe poked off the ball. Brooklyn controls. Espinoza getting it over to Aguiles and popped out of play. And we'll have a stoppage of play as the official will have a talk with the CSI bench. So no card issued, but a talking to the CSI bench. And that one punted out by Davies. So approaching 8 minutes into this second half of play, the Dolphins on a goal by Joe Bilella on a cross that was redirected by the Brooklyn defense. CSI with a 1-0 lead as we have a foul whistle. That'll be against Lefkowitz as bodies continue to fly here. It's been a very physical game, but a clean physical game. The fouls have been pretty obvious. There's been some that have been let go. The jockeying for a position has been there all game. Dolphins will get themselves an opportunity here. About 35, 40 yards away. Sal plays it backwards for the Dolphins, gets it back, allows the Brooklyn defense to come up, and now wants to take the sideline. Sal in a foot race. Little back heel that time by Angulo. And Lefkowitz is put to the ground. So I think at this point it would be Lefkowitz going towards goal with this. Looks like we're going to have Mike Babuski joining us on headset in just a few moments. So Lefkowitz should put this one right on goal. Let's see what he decides to do. Plays that one weakly towards the goal line and out of play. So this will be a goal kick instead. Dolphins squander an opportunity there deep in the zone. That one weakly punted in. Dolphins will control near midfield. All the way back to Carucci, and he will play it on the far sideline as we welcome in Mike Babuski. Mike, how you doing?
Good. It's great to be here. Nice to see the Dolphins pick up a goal in the second half and take a 1-0 lead.
Absolutely. A goal that was very questionable, Mike. It looked like it was redirected by a Brooklyn College player. Might have been headed for an own goal. Joe Bilella is able just to poke it in and give it the extra reassurance it needed to get into the net. And that's the difference here. In an otherwise pretty even game, the Dolphins have controlled play for the most part, but statistically, Brooklyn has been right there. Meanwhile, this is Lefkowitz streaking down the sideline across the goal line, but he is swept away by Damian Tari.
You know, Dave, you look at this Brooklyn College team, and they've really been struggling this year. They dropped their first 8 games before finally getting a win against Lehman College. But, you know, coming out today and playing a real strong game against the Dolphins.
Yeah, definitely a good game for them. Coming off that win, Brooklyn has been in a lot of their games this season. A lot of one-goal losses, so that 1-8 record, very deceiving. That was a player down for Brooklyn. It looked like it was number 8, Jordy Hernandez. And Hernandez went down hard, Mike, and I think John Tardy has a case here. I don't think Hernandez was hit at all, especially near the face area, and he's grabbing his nose and his lip. I don't know if there was any contact there.
Yeah, so he's down on the pitch, but he looks like he's going to get up, and he should be okay. And the official hasn't even stopped the clock yet. So
no, and he's going to be allowed to just get up under his own power and continue on into the game.
You know, the Bulldogs coming off that big win, Dave, like we mentioned, against Lehman College. And, you know, that ups their record in the conference to 1-1. So that was a big win for a Brooklyn team that's really looking to regain their footing.
There's a header deep inside the box. Put down again, a second chance opportunity for the header. That was Luis Gomez, who came on as a substitute late in the first half. Carucci's there to make the save and to restart quickly down the far sideline. Carroll giving chase. He plays it back to Bilella. Moving towards goal was Tenempagwe. This is Montesinos in the direction of Salas. Salas spreading one across, but too far for everyone. Brooklyn ball, they'll get substitutions in the game.
Yeah, that time the Dolphins looked a little dangerous. They breaking down the near side of the field, but that pass by Salas just a little bit too hard for everyone and rolls out across the far touchline.
So number 21, Rocco Radovani, who started the game, comes back in a substitute role. And number 16, Stuart Bayonne, will come into the game. Now, for Stuart, he has scored 1 goal this season. And he is tied for second on the team with 13 shots, so he has been a good offensive weapon. Meanwhile, on the reset, this is Salas down the other way. Was interrupted by Argiles. Spilled out of play. Dolphins will get a reset here. Ever since that attempt at goal for Brooklyn, CSI has turned it on offensively. Vendra taps one down, but it's spread up the pitch and out. Tenempagwe last touch. Brooklyn will reset. Argiles. Nice give and go that time, but interrupting it was Moran Navarro. That was played behind Tenempagwe, so the Dolphins lose it again. Espinoza gives it away. Tenempagwe now looked up the pitch. Nobody home. Moran Navarro gives it over to Vendra, who wants to switch fields to Sal. Sal looking all the way up the pitch. Nobody home, and Davies is there to scoop it up on a hop.
You know, Dave, you look at this Brooklyn College team, and they've really been struggling to score goals all season long, and, you know, only one shot in that first half, and, you know, been struggling to get offense here in the second half. So down a goal, Dolphins put themselves in good position here inside of 30 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, and Brooklyn's 2 goals against Lehman, both in the first half of that game. So now they've been off the scoreboard for 2 straight halves. Both of those goals scored by former Dolphin Alex Sosa, their leading scorer. 4 goals through 9 games this season for Brooklyn. But he's been held pretty quiet here in this one. Did have a lot of attacking for the wing. Meanwhile, here comes the Dolphins. Down the right side. That one put straight on goal. A quick save. And another one hits the crossbar and down. Peterson with a bicycle kick, but that one caught a piece of a Brooklyn College player. That'll be a foul, as we have a timeout called, and Brooklyn player is down, and there is some urgency with getting him attended to. And the way the Brooklyn College players are reacting here, Mike, this could be a serious injury.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. As Brooklyn College player down on the pitch, but a big opportunity that day for the Dolphins is once again Phil Lefkowitz coming in and booming a shot towards goal, and you know that was required a nice save made by Davies, and then Lefkowitz follows up and drills one under the crossbar, but doesn't get the break. The ball bounces away, and then we had the bicycle kick attempt, but it does appear like everything is okay. The player is up under his own power. That's looks like number 3.
Yeah.
Randy Argiles, and he'll come over to the sideline, and we should be getting underway here, Dave, in just a minute.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Sean Fitzpatrick, our photographer, showed me a picture of that exact moment where Peterson hit Argiles, and it was hit kind of in the upper midsection, Mike. So Argiles was favoring his face, but he didn't really get hit there. He got hit kind of in the upper torso area, and certainly might have went down hard on his head for sure. But that was a picture-perfect picture by Sean Fitzpatrick. Great job there. As we will have a substitution come in for Brooklyn, it'll be number 15. Okay, it was Asante Carroll who caught a piece of Argiles, but it will be number 15, Camille Kosmider, coming in for Brooklyn.
So Brooklyn really dodges a bullet there, Dave, as it looked like Lefkowitz was going to be able to follow up at that first save attempt, I should say, with another opportunity, but the crossbar bounces the ball out, and this game remains 1-0.
Yep. Pretty awful job on my part for mistaking Peterson for Carroll. They look really nothing alike, and Carroll, of course, has a few inches on Peterson as well, but might be time to up the prescription, Mike.
Yeah, I know. I know what you mean, Dave.
So after all of that, Davies will get into this goal kick, and it will go all the way down in CSI's end. But they're able to play it here. Salas looking for Carroll down the sideline. It's a little long, and Carroll can't get to it.
Yeah, you know, Dave, it's been another beautiful day here at the CSI Soccer Complex, and it's hard to remember a year when we had so much good weather for soccer. No rain and you know, a lot of good playing conditions. A little hot today, of course, but you know, once again, a nice day for soccer.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually talking to former Dolphin Alfonso Castaneda, who's on the CSI bench, and I was telling him about how hot it was and how I would take it over rain. And he said, well, maybe you would, but these guys probably wouldn't. They'd probably appreciate a little bit of rain in a game like this. But it is true. Very hot by soccer player standards, but pretty pleasant for us, and we'll take it. Joe Balella, who came in as a late reserve in the first half, is the Dolphins' goal scorer today. Vendra able to see that one go out of bounds. He earns the throw-in as a result, but then the Dolphins give it right away, and so off the foot of Balella.
You know, while we have a second, Dave, we should mention the women in action tonight at FDU Florham. And, you know, coming off of a real good game against Queen College, they fell behind 2-0, but were able to half the margin to 2-1, weren't able to ever get the equalizer. But, you know, another nice performance by the ladies going against a D2 opponent on the road and dropping the game by a final of 2-1.
Yeah, so the CSI women only play 2 games against Division II teams, and they lost both of them. One of them was to Concordia, but that was a really entertaining 4-3 game. And then the Dolphins, of course, dropping the game that you just mentioned on Saturday to Queens 2-1 on a future ECC opponent. And tonight, Mike, they play a very, very good FDU Florham team. FDU, I think, coming into that game 8-1. And really have beaten some teams that the Dolphins have struggled against on the Division III level. Teams like Ramapo and Kane. And so the Dolphins are going to have their hands full tonight, but we'll see how far they've come since that first couple of weeks of the season. Meanwhile, the Dolphins with an opportunity. Balella passes over to Montesinos. Montesinos on the ground. Can't sweep one through the defense. And Tari is able to jump it out. We have a substitution coming in for the Dolphins. It will be number 19, Liram Jambalage. And it looks like it will be for Joe Balella.
Yeah, you know, Dave, it looked on that last play that Brooklyn didn't really show much urgency getting back into the box. And, you know, they were very fortunate to knock that ball away because the Dolphins were in prime scoring position once again. They'll get a throw-in now from the far side of the field, deep inside Bulldog territory.
And for Jambalage, Jambalage gets 4. This is only his 4th game. He does have 2 goals as well. And there is a header, but wide of goal from Carroll, so that will be a goal kick for Brooklyn. And we just got confirmation, Mike, from Joe Balella himself that he did not touch that ball that went in to the goal, so that will be relisted as an own goal. So I apologize there, as I thought for sure Joe Balella was able to get a poke on it, but just goes to show.
Yeah, we're a long way off, Dave. Hard to see.
Yeah, and on the camera, too, it really did look like Balella kind of nursed it in. But an own goal, Dolphins will take it. So that ball goes out of play.
Yeah, so Brooklyn will have a throw-in inside Dolphin territory, and you know, we really haven't seen much action down in the Bulldogs' offensive end here, Dave, in the last 10 or 15 minutes, but here they come.
Yeah, now they break into the box. A would-be attempt, I think, was swept away from Hernandez, and that one is put over top of the defense and out. This will be a corner kick here for Brooklyn. Brooklyn with 2 shots on goal, looking for number 3 and the potential equalizer. A couple of Dolphins look like they're going to get set to come back in. Lot of activity up front in front of Carucci. That one right in the box comes all the way out. In the neighborhood is Kaza Amlak, and a handball is whistled against Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was a nice defensive play that time in the penalty area by the Dolphins, Dave. A pretty good serve from the corner, but Dolphins able to knock the ball away, and they'll end up with a free kick opportunity here.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice job by Brooklyn, though, on that corner because they were scrambling everywhere in the goal. I've never seen a frenzied kind of rush like that before, coming in from pretty much all angles. Usually you see them running from far post to near post, but they were running everywhere there. Montesinos, nice bit of dribbling. Montesinos turns towards goal, drops one off to Salas. Salas looking for the cross, and that one is swept out by Brooklyn. Another heads-up play. Radovani trying to give Sal a run, couldn't get through him. Sal playing it up, far sideline in the direction of Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz working one-on-one against the defense. It's shut out of bounds. Substitutions are coming in for the Dolphins, as we'll have number 8, Patrick Longo, returning, along with number 5, Daniel Angulo. And it looks like it'll be Vendra and Tenempagwe coming out.
Yeah, as Coach Tardy continuing to utilize his bench. Very limited substitutions day for Brooklyn College. So CSI trying to roll out the numbers and, take advantage of the lack of substitutions for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, absolutely. Brooklyn hasn't gotten a lot of players into the game, and the ones that did come in very late in the first half. And that gentleman right there, Damian Turi, is playing with a yellow card, but he's been a sensational defensive presence for Brooklyn. He sheds that one out of bounds, and Dolphins can get this one in the box on Lefkowitz's arms. He's got a good strength from there. He puts that one into the box. It's punched away by Davies initially, comes back to Lefkowitz, sidesteps one defender, takes it into the box, crosses one through. Losing his footing was Montesinos. There's the give to Angulo. Angulo sidesteps to give over to Sal. Sal racing to his right, drops off to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz gets railroaded, and the play goes over to Sosa now. Sosa with a little bit of real estate. Tried to nurse one over to Amlak, and he gets fouled, and he fouls Angulo.
So the Dolphins with a couple of challenging passes in the penalty area, but never could quite pull the trigger, Dave, to get a shot on goal. Now they'll get a free kick from midfield with about 21 and a half minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, Mike, you don't really see this often, but the right-hand side of the CSI field is, has some cloud cover, but is very light. And as we have a scramble here, and there is a shot that just goes wide. It was blocked by the defense of Montesinos. But I was saying, Mike, over the left-hand side of the field, a really gray, dark sky threatening here. Looks like rain is in the neighborhood. But it's almost like a tale of two sides of the field here. It's kind of ominous.
Dave, I'm watching Brooklyn defend in their defensive end, and they're really not doing a very good job getting on top of the Dolphins. They have a lot of space, and they've been fortunate that the Dolphins have missed a couple of opportunities, but if they don't mark any better, the Dolphins are going to add that second goal.
That one in towards the near post, and it's fielded on the fly by Davies off of the header straight up in the air, I believe by Salas. Moran Navarro, who's played very well on the defensive line for the Dolphins, continues to work here. Wants to switch field to Lehman, who's also put up a very good contest. Dolphins defense has been good. Lefkowitz, who now moves from right to left, drops one in front of Montesinos. Montesinos, a little bit of a dribble off the chest. Amlak able to sweep it away from the defensive line. Espinoza now giving off to Sosa. Sosa being double teamed. Has it taken away from him initially. Sosa can't get through Longo. Drops off to Navarrete. Jean Balage gets tangled up. Asante Carroll was the would-be intended receiver, but Jean Balage gets the benefits of the call. It's a late whistle. They wanted to play advantage there, Mike, and they never did get it.
Yeah, you know, that was a good defensive job by Turney getting back quickly for the Bulldogs. I thought the Dolphins were going to break clear on that one, but a nice defensive play, and now the Dolphins get the benefit of the free kick.
And Mohamedou Sow will be the one to field it here. Gets a nice kick attempt. That one goes in towards goal in the direction of John Balaj. Kind of skipped away from him on the hop. And Brooklyn is able to double back and clear it out. Sow now continues to work. He threads through two defenders. Can't get past Kaza Amlak. And the Dolphins just dump it right back into the Brooklyn zone, and they'll have to reset from there. We are under 19 minutes to play officially. Remind you that the official time is being kept on the field, so the time that you see on your screen, unofficial here.
Yeah, Brooklyn with just 2 shots on goal still, Dave, through the first 71 and a half minutes or so. So the Dolphins doing a nice job defensively and really limiting the opportunities for Brooklyn College.
Yeah, the shots on goal in the first half were just 2-1 in favor of the Dolphins, and now they're 4-2, so they've just doubled each other up. Lehman will play it all the way back to Carucci, who hasn't been too busy here in this second half. He's looking for Angulo. Angulo has some real estate. He pops it straight up in the air in the direction of Carroll. Carroll trying to catch up to it, can't do it. Damian Tari taking it out. Longo is in the neighborhood along with Sosa. Longo wins that battle. It's Carroll looking to play to John Balaj. Back heel pass in the box. A little too far from Montesinos. Brooklyn heads up play to crash that one out of bounds.
Yeah, that was Kosmider, Dave, who just checked into the game, who did a real nice job cutting that ball out at the last minute. Once again, the Dolphins a step or so away from a big scoring opportunity. They'll once again take a throw-in from the far side of the field.
This one played short now to Longo. He gets bumped off the ball, and there's going to be a foul here on Brooklyn.
Yeah, so the Dolphins, Dave, with an opportunity to take advantage of a little bit of a ticky-tack foul, committed really far away from the goal, but an opportunity to serve it right into the center of the box from here.
And Lefkowitz has been known to put these right on goal as well. So he has options here from just beyond the goal box. Tough angle shot if he does give it a go here. Plenty of activity in front. Dolphins moving in towards the near post, and that one is hit down originally by Brooklyn and then skied up in the air by Kaza Amlak. Dolphins get it right back in. This is Angulo. Angulo threading one in, looking in the direction of Salas, and Salas has his shot interrupted by Davies. Nice save on the play by Davies, forces a corner.
Yeah, that time there were 2 Dolphins breaking in on goal alone. A nice play that time by Davies and net, but the Dolphins will get a corner.
And it's taken right to the center of the box, and Carroll is able to really get ahead of steam on that one. It was played well wide.
Yeah, he went flying through the air on that one, Dave, but just knocked the ball wide. And look at the beautiful rainbow, Dave,
we
over
have
the
2
goal.
of them, 2 rainbows, a very rare double rainbow coming in. Mike's getting out his phone. I'm adjusting cameras here. Look at this. We'll see if Joe Masha gets this on camera as well. It's going all the way across the sky, too. This is amazing here. Good things happening at CSI. Mike dropped his headset and just went right off headset and went to get some pictures of what's happening here on the field. It's really a rare sight as the Dolphins now rush up, and taken down hard was Liram Jean-Balaj on the play. Stoppage of play, and this will be a yellow card assessed to number 15.
That's
Camille Kosmider.
Yeah, he was fortunate, Dave, to just get a yellow on that play. Is that time Dolphins with a clear path towards goal, and now they're going to have an opportunity for a free kick right in the center of the field.
And so after all of this, the Dolphins will have A free kick opportunity for Lefkowitz. Looking at about 28 yards out. That one is hit sharply into the wall by Lefkowitz. That's going to leave a mark. And Gulo plays it over to Carroll. Carroll looking sideline towards Salas. Can he meet it? No, too far. So this will be a goal kick here for Davies. And, you know, Mike, the Dolphins have been amping up the offensive pressure, but lost in all this is the fact that Brooklyn has to go for a goal here just to equalize. And so they're the ones that really have to force the issue offensively.
They do, Dave, but as long as they keep it a one-goal game, they leave themselves a counter away from the tying goal. And, you know, if you're Brooklyn, that's what you got to look for. But, you know, like you mentioned, Dave, the Dolphins doing a much better job putting the pressure on. And right now they appear the team more likely to get the second goal of the game.
Yeah, and if that goal holds up, it'll be an own goal in the 50th minute. That is the difference. Here's a threading through ball by Sosa that gets intercepted by Moran Navarro. Dolphins scramble to kind of clear it towards midfield, but Brooklyn takes it back. Navarrete was interrupted on the play. Montesinos is able to reset to Sau. Sau up the far sideline, knocked away. Dolphins have to reset possession if they can control here. As this ball continues to get pinballed on both sides of the midfield. Neither team able to establish possession here. Lefkowitz settling it down. And the Dolphins spilling it up the field, but Brooklyn the only team there. Radavani tried to switch fields. Sosa now trying to operate against Lehman. It was last touched by the Dolphins, and then Carucci comes in to send it out of bounds, and that avoids a corner kick. So nice job by Carucci to save the Dolphins from having to contend with a corner, getting a throw-in instead.
Yeah, that was a nice job by Carucci. That was a good-looking pass that time by Sosa and a nice defensive play by the Dolphins. You could see what he had in mind, but the Dolphins do a nice job knocking it away for the throw-in.
Opportunity here for a long throw-in for Brooklyn, but they instead decide to go short. They'll re-get possession here. Radavani will be the one to take it. There's one towards the top of the box, trying to turn on it with Kaza Amlak, but he missed on the first one and then couldn't control the second. And that one is kicked right up the pitch, and Carucci is able to play that on one hop. And it'll force Carucci to cover up as Radavani had to streak in to keep Carucci honest, as we have just over 12 minutes to play.
You know, Dave, Brooklyn's been doing a nice job in the last couple of minutes putting pressure on the Dolphins, and they commit like really an unforced turnover, but the Dolphins return the favor, and now Brooklyn will have an opportunity to throw it in.
Yep, and as Mike mentioned, it only takes one rush up the field to get back into the game, and Brooklyn is looking for that rush. Sosa sends one up on top of the defense. No one home there as Carucci again forced to cover up. Brooklyn continues to win possessions at midfield and restart their offense. Bayonne looking to play it near the corner flag. Montesinos playing it over to Carroll. Carroll was not able to turn towards goal originally, now does. Spilled out quickly by Kosmider. Dolphins will have themselves a throw-in. Referee wants Carroll to back up a few paces. Nobody. Brenny Salas now tries to play it back to Carroll. Navarrete. Radavani. Back to Navarrete. Navarrete picks up his eyes and finds Stuart Bayonne. Bayonne now trying to work against Moran Navarro. Nice play defensively by Navarro, and this will be a corner kick opportunity here for Brooklyn College. So another good chance here for the Bulldogs late in the game.
Yeah, Brooklyn attacking with much more purpose and coming up much more cohesively the last few minutes, Dave.
Yeah, and considering what Brooklyn has done on the corner kicks, that's a poor effort to go short on that play. As that one came screaming in on us. Bryant Navarro doing nothing to protect us. Just got to mention that. And now more balls flying across. So it will be Jamali Peterson checking in, Mike, after all of that. The Dolphins are able to substitute in. They also sub in Bryant Navarro, last year's leading goal scorer for the Dolphins. We'll see if that gets the Dolphins a little bit of pep here on the offensive side. And that will be a goal kick. Looks like the Dolphins are expecting, oh no, looks like.
Yeah, that'll be a throw in, Dave.
Yeah, throw. Navarrete spills that one out of bounds.
No, the Dolphins tried to counter quickly on that last possession, Dave, and a nice play by Turney once again to knock it over the sideline and force a throw in for the Dolphins.
Dolphins want to reset quickly. Once again, near the goal line, they spill it up towards the top of the box. Peterson is in the neighborhood, and Brooklyn is able with Kosmider to spill it out. Now a 50-50 ball. Radavani working 1v2. Has to back up, wait for some red jerseys to join the fray. Peterson, though, gets a touch here. Montesinos looking to play it to Peterson. Peterson taken out on the play. Wanted a call, doesn't get it. Bayonne with a quick touch. He loses it to Longo. Longo over to Navarro. Navarro, quick pass over to Jean Balaj. He sidestepped Davies and puts it in the back of the net for the goal. A great look by Bryant Navarro and a fantastic finish for Jean Balaj.
Yeah, what a nice goal that time for the Dolphins. They were able to counterattack quickly. Brooklyn had been doing a nice job trying to push the play up, but the Dolphins once again counter quickly, this time able to connect on the passes. Davies came out, and once Jean Balaj passed him with the ball, Dave, he had the whole net to put it in. And he puts it in, I believe, for his 5th goal of the year.
Yeah, and really, who should get an assist on that goal is John Tardy. He puts Bryant Navarro in the game at just the right time. His speed just took Brooklyn by surprise. Since he's walked onto the pitch, Mike, he has just been on a different gear, and he just caught the Brooklyn defense napping a little bit, was able to slip in the goal, and he got the pass into Jean Balaj, who was able to finish.
Yeah, nice job that time by the Dolphins. As you know, we mentioned, Dave, Brooklyn starting to put a little pressure on. They attack was showing a little more cohesiveness, but Dolphins to get that second goal there, a big goal, just over 8 minutes remaining.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Dolphins really doing a great job there of doubling up their lead and now really forcing Brooklyn College to really have to press here and force the issue. As Brooklyn will get themselves a late substitution into the game, it will be number 28, Steven Diaz, who will come in to place a Brian Navarrete, who has been all over the pitch here for Brooklyn. As rain is expected in the area soon, so we're hoping to break this one down as soon as it's over. And there's a big, ambitious attempt by Montesinos that goes just high of the bar.
You know, Montesinos has had a pretty good second half day for the Dolphins. He's distributed the ball well and been part of a lot of the Dolphin offense here. And that time a real good shot at the net. And actually looks like Davies got a hand on it, and it'll be a corner kick here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, might have caught a piece of that defensive line here. Lefkowitz. And that one is punched up by the Brooklyn defense. Montesinos puts it back in there. It's headed away by Brooklyn again. A lot of 50-50 action. Brooklyn comes down with it. Radavani looking to play it back to Sosa. Sosa gets taken down kind of in between two Dolphins. And slow to get up is Patrick Longo. Might have lost a shoe there and now gets it back on. So an own goal and then a goal by Liram Jean-Balage, his third of the season, makes it a 2-0 game here. Both goals in the second half. Angulo. Pass was incomplete to Montesinos, but the Dolphins get it back. Navarro gives it over to Jean-Balage. He tries to chip one over Davies. The original save is made, and the putback swept off the goal line, and then a would-be rebound attempt is saved by Davies.
You can see the Dolphins' eyes open wide from here, Dave, with all those goal-scoring opportunities, but nice defensive plays by the Bulldog defense and by Davies keep this a 2-0 game.
3 shots, 3 saves on the play. 2 by Davies, 1 a team save off the shot by Bryant Navarro. So that was some flurry there. Dolphins now with a 14-2 edge in shots. That one is popped out. Shots on goal are now 7-2 in favor of CSI.
Yeah, and some of those have been real good shot opportunities, Dave. So,
well, every one of the 3 shots we just saw, Mike, could have and probably should have been a goal. Davies made a nice save on the chip shot by Jean-Balage, and then Bryant Navarro had a blast that was swept off by the defense. Montesinos now given a little bit of space. Sidesteps one defender, puts one through the middle, and that one is saved by Davies on the attempt by Lefkowitz. It looked like Lefkowitz tried to baby that one through, Mike, and Davies made the good stop.
Yeah, Phil had the whole far side of the net that time and kind of ended up chipping it right into Davies. But, once again, Davies putting himself in the right place to make a very difficult play.
Now, CSI player is down, and Ocasio is coming in to check on him. Both teams are looking to make substitutions, Mike, so it looks like if it will be Angulo who comes out, Brooklyn will also be able to make a substitution here. Tarek Eastman is coming in. Brooklyn is allowed to make their substitution as well. Quintero is coming in. And coming in for Brooklyn is number 10, Luis Garcia. Now, darkness is not really a factor here, but it has gotten really dark here at CSI. Not sure how it's coming off on your screen, but it has really gotten dark here, and looks like the rain is imminent. So we will probably make this a very quick wrap-up at the end of this, save all of our equipment, make sure that everything is covered, and we get out of here in decent time here. There's 4 minutes and 19 seconds officially to go. The scoreboard on your screen might reflect us being into stoppage time, and indeed we are. That gives you a good indication of how deep we are into extended time. Brooklyn needs 2 to tie, and they need to amp up the offense quickly. Bayonne plays it backwards, and that one is over top of everyone. Luis Garcia not on the same page with his fellow Bulldogs. So the Dolphins on Saturday will travel to Randall's Island. They'll take on Hunter College. Hunter defeated Brooklyn 3-1 last Saturday, so it gives you a kind of a indication of the matchup they're headed for.
Yeah, that should be a real good game, Dave, out at Randall's Island. Looking forward to seeing that one.
Yep, and the Dolphins kind of wrapping up their home season already. Only a few more games to go here at the CSI Soccer Complex. Earlier today, a $500 check was presented from the CSI men's soccer program to the family of Anthony Del Rey, who's battling Shwachman-Diamond syndrome. A portion of those proceeds will go to his family, and another portion will go to the SDSF Foundation to support families like his. A lot of folks in attendance wearing Del Rey jerseys.
Yeah, another nice event, Dave, in line with a lot of the things done by CSI Athletics all the time, a lot of them behind the scenes that people aren't even ever aware of.
Yep, and this was, of course, one of the outreach programs that CSI Soccer has been a part of for a couple of years now. We'll talk a little bit more about that as Montesinos puts one in the box. A would-be cross to Jean Balaj is intercepted by Davies, but the Dolphins have been working with Anthony Del Rey and his brother Nicholas and the Del Rey family for over 2 years now, part of their hookup with Team Impact. And the Del Reys, of course, are more than just soccer here at the CSI campus. There are fixtures at basketball games and baseball and softball games and tennis matches, you name it. They've been to it. And it's great to have 7-year-old Anthony and his brother Nicholas on hand with us.
Just over 90 seconds left, Dave, and it looks like the Dolphins are going to extend their unbeaten streak to 4 and, go into Saturday's game against Hunter College with some very good positive momentum.
And for the Dolphins, the only thing in doubt now is if they can hold on to this shutout. They want to. It's been one of their goals this season is not to allow a goal in CUNY competition. And it's a lofty goal, but it's one that they think that they can accomplish, Mike. They only gave up 1 goal in CUNY conference play last year, and that was on a penalty kick in a 16-1 win over York.
That's right, and it was a disputed penalty too, Dave, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Foreman breaking down with quickness at the table. He sees the rain coming in. And Jamali Peterson almost took us out. Running way too hard in a 2-0 game with 30 seconds left, but that's what his coach would want. I know that. So Brooklyn skies one into the CSIN. Christian Carucci is able to take his time, bend over, pick it up, and slice it down to Quintero on the other side of the field. As we approach the 10-second mark here at the CSI Soccer Complex, the Dolphins are going to win this one by a score of 2-0. So an own goal by Brooklyn very early into the second half, and then a late second half goal by Liram Jean Balaj on the give from Bryant Navarro, and that's all she wrote. The Dolphins win this one by a score of 2-0. They extend their unbeaten streak, Mike, now to 4 games. Their winning streak to 3 games. Brooklyn falls to 1-9 on the season. The Dolphins 4-3-1, and with a head of steam ahead of them.
Yeah, it was a nice win for the Dolphins, Dave. It's their they have 3 consecutive conference games coming up here. Brooklyn, Hunter, and Lehman over the next 5 days. They'll play Hunter College on the road against Randall's Island, and then come back for a home game against Lehman College next week. So Dolphins going in, continuing to play well, Dave, like you mentioned, 4-game unbeaten streak as the Dolphins continue to play well here in 2019.
And we will next be on the air on Monday coming up, 5 days from now. The Dolphins will continue their CUNY run. They will face Lehman College right here at the CSI Soccer Complex at 4 o'clock on Monday of next week. So that's the next time we will be in action. And the Dolphins, of course, are hoping that by that time they will add another victory under their belts when they travel to Hunter College on Saturday. They travel to Randall's Island, but of course will play Hunter there. That is their home field. So Dolphins have plenty to grow on. They have outscored CUNY competition now 14-0 through 3 games. They've been really solid so far in their CUNY competitive dates. And so the Dolphins are in pretty good shape here, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt, Dave. You mentioned they've won all 3 of their CUNYAC conference games so far. They have 5 CUNYAC conference games left, and they'll look to continue to play well as they complete their final season against CUNYAC competition.
Absolutely. So that is going to do it for us. Once again, our final score here, CSI 2 and Brooklyn College nothing. The Dolphins improved their record to 4 wins, 3 losses, and a tie. As Mike mentioned, their unbeaten streak now extends to 4 games, and their win streak now at 3 games. So once again, for all of us here at the College of Staten Island, for Joe Foreman and Sam Flecker on stats, for Joe Masha, our engineer, Joe Cusimano on camera, for Mike Babuski, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a very good night. Once again, your final score here from CSI. It's the College of Staten Island 2 and Brooklyn College nothing. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for watching men's soccer only on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.